Ted Gambardella here with 5 reasons why Randy Couture won the fight last night at the UFC 109 against Mark Coleman. Number 1, Randy has more big fight experience. It seems that everyone forgets the importance of being ready for the big fight. Coleman is a Hall of Famer because he deserved it 10 years ago, not because of anything he did now or is going to do in the future in the UFC. He simply does not have the big fight experience of a Randy Couture. Coleman has had some big fights in the UFC, but most of them have been 5 to 7 years ago, and this lack of recent big fight experience hurt him in his preparation for the Couture fight. He thought he was fighting someone who didn't have stand-up, forgetting that Randy Couture came back after retiring to beat the unbeatable Tim Silva, and did it easily by knocking him down with a hard punch in the very first seconds of the fight, setting up the tone for a good butt-kicking for Silva. And he did the same thing to Coleman. He beat him to the punch every time, and he landed everyone harder, faster, and with more power. He kept Coleman off balance, backing him up and confused. And when you don't have the big fight experience recently in your fight history, you simply cannot adapt to the changing situations that will occur before, during, and during the fight. It's like going to the Super Bowl the first time. Most teams lose because they simply are overwhelmed by their experience and don't have a game plan that would enable them to win under the big game pressure. That is one reason why Mark Coleman lost. Number 2, Randy had a better fight plan, and Coleman had no clue. Randy Couture had Coleman figured out long before the fight started. He told everyone in an interview that Coleman still fought the same way he did 10 years ago, and he was going to take him to the ground and use his wrestling skills to beat Randy and pound him out. And that was absolutely true. But that was not really what Randy meant. He was setting up Coleman to get him to try to do something different. And Mark took the bait. He decided he was a boxer, and he did not want to fall into his old fighting habit because Randy already told him that he knew what he was going to do. And he was wrong. Randy told him that so he wouldn't do it. He tricked him, and Coleman took the bait and changed a winning fight style for a sure losing style. It's like that in boxing and MMA all the time. You tell your opponent, I know you're going to throw all hard rights, and I'm ready. So your opponent suddenly decides, well, I'm going to trick you, and I'm going to throw all left jabs. And what he winds up doing is leaving his winning techniques behind and fighting the losing fight, so that you won't be ready for his good stuff. Because he's too smart to do that. He thinks he should do what you told him not to do. And so he loses all his focus and comes up with a new losing game plan, just like Mark Coleman did.